Welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day. Guess who I've got here? My daughter. She's staying for a few days. China! Come and say hello. Here. No, just say hello. Just say hello.
Hiya.
That's it. Hey, it's nice to have my daughter back for a while from the UK. How are you all doing today? We're going to talk about Moldavite today, and I haven't even got my Moldavite ready. Oh, just let me grab my Moldavite. Okay, I'm going to show you a very special piece of Moldavite now. It's Bessanitse. Bessanitse is from a beautiful little part of the Czech Republic. It's only small, but it's where the most beautiful divine Moldavites come from. And Mother Earth shaped this through the thousands and millions of years in its natural state. So depending where the Moldavite is, whether it's in Clum, Maliclum, and all the other places, each Moldavite has a unique colour and shape and the way it just presents itself. However, always bear in mind that no matter what Moldavite you get, if it's genuine, it functions at the same energy. Now, depending on what shape it is and how, just let's say the shape, sometimes it has slightly different ways of blasting energy through that particular piece. Now this one isn't easy to wear because it's actually uncomfortable against the skin. So if you mount a piece of that we call them hedgehogs, and there's a reason why you'll see in a second. You feel it against the skin, and sometimes if you push against that, it kind of like, wow, that because it's like glass sticking points into you. However, when you work with this beautiful crystal from Bessanitse, especially the hedgehogs, it has great rewards when you place it on the third eye. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm gonna show you it try and show you it in the sunlight. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see why they would call it a hedgehog? Because it looks like a hedgehog. Now, this is a museum piece. I went to the Czech Republic and basically remortgaged my home. People thought I was crazy, but it was. I love Moldavite that much that I couldn't think of anything that I would prefer to buy. So I went with the intention of buying the most beautiful pieces of Moldavite in the world. And there's only one place you can buy them, and that's the Czech Republic, where they're from. So I went in a mobile home and I spent some time searching and asking the local people in Bessanitse, Maliclum and Clum, and all the places where I really wanted the choice pieces from. I ended up meeting certain people. I ended up meeting just common folk who were like you and me, who had collected them over the years, or their granddads, and ended up buying pieces from about 4 or 5 different people. And I think at the end of it, when I came back, I realized I was extremely lucky, because at that particular point, Moldavite was doing really, really well. But as soon as I came back, about 6 months later, it just became obscene. That people started realizing the power of Moldavite. People were talking about it. And so yeah, this was just one of those pieces. There you go. This is actually, this is in my safe. It stays in my safe because it's so precious to me and comes out whenever I'm doing a certain healing, depending on what I'm doing. And yeah, it's just incredible. So let me put this away now, nice and safe. And yeah, I like to show you some of my personal collection, and some of them are on my website as well, markbajerski.com. So I'll put this away and I'll hopefully answer some of your questions. But while I'm talking to you, I've got this thought in my head that When I first started this spiritual work, and the first piece of Moldavite was laid into my hands by the very well-known psychic queen of Ireland back then, she started me off on a journey of understanding this particular crystal, which is not a crystal, but it really aggravates people sometimes when they hear somebody say, well, it's not a crystal. It's a bit like when you spell something wrong, you get this kind of group of people who jump onto you and scream at you and call you crazy and an idiot and thick because you can't spell properly. And oh lordy, please help me, God, with these people. And it's the same with Moldavite. There's a kind of group of people who are so obnoxious. And I have no time for them, none at all, because that's not the spiritual side that I talk about. That's the science side. Not interested in that. I'm interested in the quality of Mother Earth's gift. Now, you know, the combination between Mother Earth creating and molding molding the shape of Moldavite, the impact of Mother Earth with Mother Earth's minerals and all the resources that in the impact of this beautiful meteorite that landed and created Moldavite, something very special happened. And within these years that I've worked with Moldavite, I think up to now with my clientele, I would say 5,000 of my clients have Moldavites, and the success rate of Moldavite is the highest success rate of any crystal that I've ever sold and ever worked with. So Moldavite is so impressive that I said this before, but if you're a healer and you want somebody to experience something, then the choice crystal is Moldavite because it's the greatest impact in so many ways. So I've got some questions somewhere. I put them somewhere. Questions which were asked of me of some of my clients and people who have bought Moldavite off my website and people who have just gone out and researched Moldavite and are looking into buying it. First question, can you wear Moldavite combined with other crystals? There is only one answer to that, and that is a resounding yes. It should be. Moldavite should be used with other crystals because of the energy they both create at the same time. It's incredible, so it's a yes every time. Moldavite wearing it on its own is extremely powerful, but there is no diluted energy when you wear more than one crystal with Moldavite, because each crystal vibrates at its own frequency and does not interfere with any other frequency to any other crystal. There is no interference. They vibrate differently. So it's like every channel on your TV is a different frequency. They don't interfere with each other. One frequency is there. Once you've got onto that channel, it stays there. All the other channels don't interfere because they have their own channels. So you just have to vibrate into that frequency, or just let the crystal vibrate into your frequency to what it needs to do to you as you're being healed. Why does Moldavite make me tired or collapse? This is a very, very frequently asked question, and it's fascinating. All I can tell you is what I've learned from Moldavite and my understanding. And for me, I just call it the Moldavite Detox. It basically cleanses and clears and heals. And in the process of healing, you can go through this state of being where you don't feel well, or you feel like you don't feel good. A lot of the times when you go on a fast, a lot of the times things start to come up, and those things which are coming up are because of the body that is not healthy. Therefore, the body's detoxing certain parts of the body, and you suffer with maybe the liver, you've got an issue with your kidneys, you've got an issue with your back. These things are brought to the surface because these are the things that need to be healed, and that's what's happening. It's being healed on that level. Therefore, you would ask me, why do I feel tired wearing it? That is because you are suffering from fatigue, but your body's continuing to work hard every day until you collapse and then you're burnt out and then you're physically in a mess. But what Moldavite does is recognize this and targets that, so you will feel the fatigue, which means that whenever you feel, it's a bit like a healer. A healer will always feel something on somebody else's body, which means that that's the point you need to target. Okay, so you need to be given and shown something to be able to heal from it. So that's why Moldavite, when you wear it, you can have a terrible headache. You can go into a hot flush, which normally means you need detoxing, which normally means you've got parasites. Or I could go on forever about this, but I just want to make it simple and quick. The reason why you get tired is because you are tired and your physical body is struggling. So the Moldavite is now targeting that particular place where, oh, it hurts, meaning, oh, I feel exhausted. Yeah, because the Moldavite is working on that. Sometimes it will allow you to rest and make you rest. At that point, your body then can start healing itself. So Moldavite helps you to heal yourself. Can I wear Moldavite on children or around babies, or can you, it should say, wear Moldavite on children around babies? For me, I always err on the side of caution. Why would you want to put a piece of Moldavite on a baby? Why would you need to put a piece of Moldavite on a child? What is the purpose of that? Is the child going through trauma? Is the child got a lot of issues? Is the baby, spiritually speaking, a baby is being filled every day with love and healing and all of those things from people who love them. If the baby's going through terrible pain and suffering, then maybe. For me, this is what I would say to answer that question in a nutshell. Moldavite in a room is a beautiful thing. And Moldavite, even if you get a 10-inch thick lead, huge brick across a Moldavite, so the Moldavite's here, the brick is that thick, the Moldavite will penetrate through anything. Its vibration cannot get affected. That's why when people say, oh, it's got a bit of glue on, is that going to affect it? No effect at all. Moldavite is underground and it creates such harmony and such peace and such power, such pulling power. Did I ever tell you when I were in Bessanitse, I was at one particular field and I looked around and I was stunned. All the trees were bent towards the Moldavite. All four corners. It was incredible to see. That's the power of Moldavite. I would just say that I would be happy to put a piece of Moldavite next to a child's bed in the room. And that will be sufficient to be able to give that child great energy and strength. What size of Moldavite should I choose? You should choose the size of Moldavite that feels right. But I would say you should choose the Moldavite that feels right, not the size. So it can be a tiny little slither, which means that you're now working on your third eye, because that's where you would put it, as a little tiny slice on your third eye and work on that. Or you might want to wear one around your neck, which means you want a bigger piece, a little bit bigger piece. Size does not matter at all. It has no relevance. However, the shape of it, sometimes when you work with Moldavite, like Bessanitse, has these kind of pointers. And these pointers are incredible because the energy from within shoots out and blasts at them points. So when you imagine you've got this beautiful piece down there, and you stick that on your third eye, you've got all these pointers firing, blasting this energy. It's incredible. And if you wear something like that with pointers, with any kind of pointer, it's got the energy that fires out at the point. So I often use as a tool a pointer on my clients. You'll see Native Americans having, wood antlers, but at the end they'll have a pointer of some kind of, I don't know, there's so many they used. Smoky quartz, they could have used Lemurian and so on, but these kind of ideas and come from ancient knowledge. And when you work with a crystal and you've got a pointer, you can feel it. You can, often as healers, we see when we're doing healing work, if we're holding a pointer and we're going on the third eye, you'll see the eyelids like flickering like crazy and the eyeballs moving all over the place. Well, there's something happening. There's something amazing happening there, because when you take that away, that stops. So you can see the power of this idea of any pointer making a huge difference, and there is no exception with Moldavite. It does that. They're just a few questions I wanted to answer. You know what? I tell you what I'm going to do. This here, this Bessanitse that I've just shown you, from this moment on, from right now till the end of the month, on the Saturday, the last Saturday of the month, okay? If you go to markbajerski.com and make any purchase of any crystal, whatever crystal it is, whether it's a Moldavite, whether it's a Shungai, any crystal at all, it will be entered into a draw. So each crystal that you buy is one draw ticket. And at the end of the month, I will make that draw, and somebody is going to own this beautiful, unique and rare museum Moldavite Bessanitse hedgehog. That's my gift to you, and to say thank you for supporting markbajerski.com. And I hope you love every single crystal that I've worked on. And I've loved working on them, and I put my heart and soul into them. Enjoy Mark Bajerski shop. Take care. Have a great day.